You know what I'm talking about, right? You know this viral moment? You must have seen this viral moment. I mean, it's taken the internet by storm, has it not? Bum 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 bum. Beat it. Okay, so you all want to know what the context is for this. This was like a long ass stare down between this white player and this black player in the WNBA. Why am I mentioning their race? Well, not because I care particularly about their race, but because it's important to the story, because this has created such a hullabaloo. Besides the fact that it has made this female, Sophie Cunningham, who's a player at the WNBA, a living legend for doing such an intense stare down against somebody who she believed had acted in a foul. It has started an enormous conversation about race. Now, what a lot of people don't know is the context to this video. And the context is enormously important, as it always is, to understanding the story. So, the WNBA has famously not had very good ratings. And it started off, I think the percentages are like 80% of the players were black. Okay, this is from Grok. Here you see the statistics. About 80% of their players were black. Now, that's not the reason why WNBA had bad ratings. It's more because female sports hasn't tended to be something that has given people a lot of excitement. They don't really tend to watch it. And also because the marketing budget for female sports is so much lower than for male sports, something that has been changing slowly-ish over the years. Anyway, lately, they've been bringing in some of these white players who have really gained an audience because they have personality. And in addition, there has been this really interesting thing that you've been seeing in these games where there have been foul after foul after foul against the white players by the black players who, just conveniently, have often been extremely politically motivated, shall I say, representing BLM, etc. They haven't been afraid to keep politics out of it at all. And these fouls have kind of been almost like, I don't want to, dismissed. Okay, so like here's a small compilation. Okay, so for some reason, this female sport has been getting more and more violent, and yet not much is being done to stop. Now, look at that, okay? That's really intense violence, and you should just know, after that video, that girl the girl who attacked her, only got suspended for one game and got a fine of $1,000. That's a joke. She literally strangled her, okay? But you're seeing more and more of these tendencies of just like, I don't know, violence that just doesn't seem appropriate at all for the game. And of course, you've got the super viral moment of this white girl going like this against the blacks. And the black people have been absolutely freaking out about this, calling it BLM 2.0 because she is race baiting. When in fact, I think if you watch the footage from behind the scenes, or not behind the scenes, on the game of what actually happened leading up to this moment, I don't know if the reason she's pointing at her is race baiting or if it's actually just because of a foul that happened on the ground. Let's see. I'm so interested in your all thoughts.
Let's just call it what it is, racism. It started with Caitlin Clark, and now it's me. Y'all see it. When white players start hooping at a high level, suddenly we're cocky, deserve to get hit, or we're too emotional. But let's be real, they just don't like seeing white girls dominating their game. I've been elbowed, shoved, even had players whisper threats during plays. And for what? Because I play hard? Because I won't back down? That's not just physical, that's targeted. That's hate. And I'm not staying quiet about it anymore. If I get hit dirty, I'm swinging back. Period. I did it before, and I'll do it again. I'm not here to play victim, I'm here to compete. But I'll never let anyone punk me just because of the color of my skin. If you think I'm supposed to just take it and smile, you picked the wrong one. And Caitlin, she's been through the same BS. We see the pattern, and the league better start seeing it too. If you don't stand for fairness now, when will you? If you ride with me and Caitlin, if you're sick of the double standards, drop a support in the comments. Let them know we're not alone.
I mean, I don't know if there's a better response to this event possible. This is from the interview that she did. And look at the difference between what she says post this event, okay, and what the black player says.
I was just kind of pointing, and she's like, don't you point at me. And I was like, oh, shouldn't have said that. And I didn't say a word.
It's just such a good moment. So good. It is such a good moment. She just doesn't stop. She just literally doesn't stop. Okay, so I think we can all agree that this woman is a total badass, and I now understand why the viewership is going up, because I want to watch her. I would watch literally everything she does. Her attitude, she's so interesting, she's so entertaining, and she is not allowing herself to get bullied. I mean, look, she's just not allowing it. She's just not allowing it. She just won't back down. And obviously the memes of this are crazy. The internet has just gone completely ablaze with this, okay? So now look, as I said, here's the context of the moment.
It's the same old theme, say
That's a foul, right?
fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs.
I mean, right? She keeps on having foul after foul after foul after foul. Okay? They hit her, they attack her. And the referees are just doing nothing about it. Now, I don't know about you. The fact that like female sports is getting a rep because of like the catty fight between the two people is frustrating to me. But I think it's also an important indicator to the fact that we often are talking about race, and like not realizing that so many times it's actually the whites in the game that are suffering from this racism.
Crazy. You know, the playing the game, being suspended, just the whole narrative that's being painted out there. It's unfortunate that it's come to this over basketball. A lot of us, myself included, didn't even know the play took place until after you know, the game, and you know, now we're being painted as thugs and there's death threats out on us. So it's really unacceptable. It's something that needs to change in this league. And
I knew it was a second. I knew it was literally a second before you have the entire racist, we are victim move thing going on. Victim, 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 victimhood.
When white players start hooping,
It's victimhood and it's racism, and people are getting sick and tired of it, especially when you compare this with what we just saw from Sophie Clark.
Math of everything, of the incident and like vitriol and stuff like that on social media. How do you feel like they could better support you in this incident?
I think it's not even about the suspension. If that's what they felt was necessary in that moment, then so be it. But I think there's a lot of other plays that you can say the same about. I think the biggest thing is it's just about our safety. We're so concerned about the safety on the court, but you know, time and time again, we're having people threatening our lives, leaking addresses out there.
Again, victim, 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 victim. There was not a lot of victimhood over here, was there? And I'm kind of sick and tired of it. But you know what? If this is what the internet's going to give us, this sort of entertainment, right? Like, how insane is it that she got away with this? And she's saying like, oh, instead of talking about the fact that it's not okay that she hit somebody in the throat, she's saying, you know, my safety, my safety, my safety.
Caitlin to the ground, and ooh, that's a.
By the way, just to be clear, these are two different games. This doesn't happen at the same game, right? This was one event, and Sophie was responding to Clark, who's her friend. She's just like, enough is enough. They keep on doing these sort of things to us, and we never say anything, we never do anything. And so I want to make them uncomfortable. And of course, you've got these comments. Historically, a person of color being pointed at by a white woman ended with a lynch mob. Sophie Cunningham obviously doesn't understand the generational trauma that supposedly harmless gesture has for black and brown, queer, disabled, LGBTQ, and adjacent folks of color. Anyways, that's the story of this viral moment. It will forever be a meme. It will forever be used to point out insanity. And, of course, thank you for your attention to this matter.